And Amalek, that's why I said to you, is separated. When the Bible talks about what? Israel and Judah, the only reason it said it like that was because what? Judah became so large. That one tribe out of the nation of Israel became so large that it was recognized as a separate tribe. That's why the Bible says Israel and Judah have done this, Israel and Judah have done that. Alright? Now the brother just read out what? Amalek is also one of our enemies. As I just said to you, that's them fake Jews. Alright? They're the top tribe of the nation of Edom. They're still Edomites, they're just the top tribe. Go on, read on. Go on. The reason why the Amalek is pointed out, they're the first ones that came against us when we was coming to the promised land. Okay? When even King David said that obviously if I forget my enemies, let my tongue keep to the roof of my mouth. Even though in America they call themselves kites. Okay? The normal Peblian Edomites call the Jewish people kites. That's what shows you spiritually they are the top tribe. Because they're Amalek. But Amalekite. Okay? So what it says here, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. When it's talking about the Philistines, it's talking about the Hamites. Alright? It's not talking about the people in that land today. Because obviously migration patterns and this and that, that's obviously not the same people. Alright? You see what I'm saying? Just like, that's why these Caucasians try and say that they're from Japheth and not from, Esau. Because in Europe, before it was called Europe, Japheth was what? The so-called, the New Zealanders, the Hawaiians, the Samoans. Do you understand? Alright, the Aborigines, those are Japheth. And those are still dark races. But they were pushed out of Europe before it was called Europe. Do you understand? Go on. You see Dwayne Johnson, you'd be like a so-called Japhetic person. Well, people that look like Dwayne, because you've got people that are like, you got the Samoan tribes, and they have like so-called tattoos or tribal tattoos on them. Those would be like the Japheth today. Okay, so you see in the writing sometimes when it was written in caves and that, you'd see red people. They weren't literally red, they were like red skin like us. Okay, they weren't Edomites, they weren't Caucasians. Right. That's why the Bible says what? A fugitive and a vagabond shall they be in the land, because that's what they do. They push that nation out, and then they try and take on the identity of that nation. And that's what they've done even to this day. No, they're Ishmael. The so-called Arabs are Ishmaelites. Alright? The Caucasian man today is Edomites. But they're trying to hide who they are. They want to say that they're Japheth. They're not Japheth. You can't change your nationality. Go on. Ashur also is joined with them. They are hoping the children of Lot, Selah. Right. Ashur is also joined with them. Ashur is the Assyrians. Okay?
Yeah, when it
talks about the Babylonian Empire, before the Ethiopians, it was the Assyrians that was there before the Kushites. Okay, because you got like two Babylonian empires, but the main Babylonian empire was the Kushites, the Ethiopians that you see today. Their empire was the biggest, because obviously was it Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah, but the original Egyptians was the Assyrians that you see today. Right, go on. But this shows you that we're not brothers. Going back to us not being brothers with the Africans, okay? And also to show that obviously it doesn't matter where you were born, which determines where your nationality is. Because Moses was still, Moses was still an Israelite, but he was still called in Hebrew, even though he was in Egypt. So how is it that he was born and raised up in Egypt, yeah, but he was still considered a Hebrew? Because it goes back to your father. And this shows you that we're not brothers. Exodus chapter 2 verse 11. It came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked unto their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian, yeah, which would be a Cushite, or like the people of Mizraim, okay, a Hamite, yeah, Sudanese and them people there. He spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren. So it shows you that the Egyptians, yeah, the Africans and the Israelites are not brothers. And he looked this way and that way to look around, see if the coast was clear. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian. So I basically like slew a Somalian or something, yeah, and hid him in the sand. Yeah, what happened to Moses? Nothing, because it's not his brother. Right, I mean exactly the reason why he fled, God. But that's not his brother. The Moses had no problem with him slewing the Egyptian. If he slew in Hebrew, then it'd be an issue, because he slew his own brother. Yeah? That's why these so-called gang niggas today, they're killing their own people, they don't understand.
Okay? If there was a thing where our people was like killing the other nations, the Most High wouldn't have an issue with that. Because the Most High, in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. But
Can't. That's why people say, oh, well, why did Moses run away if the Most High didn't punish him? He ran away because he thought he was going to get catch. But the Most High didn't, you understand, do anything to him. Alright? For example, you read on, it talks about how, I think it's King David, that we used to take the heathen nations up to the cliffs, and we used to kick them off and watch them explode at the bottom. We used to do that for fun. When we ruled Europe, and these Caucasians couldn't pay their taxes, that's why you hear about the Black Knight and this knight and that. And they made a movie called The Black Knight to make fun of it. The only way you could be a knight is if you had dark skin. Otherwise you wouldn't be called a knight. So it's an oxymoron. They're trying to take the piss, basically. You understand? Alright? There's no such thing as a white knight. It doesn't exist. You understand? Okay? So when we ruled Europe, when they couldn't pay their taxes, we used to stab them up and put them on a pike. You understand? We used to do that shit for fun. That's why the Bible says what? Because Edom have taken vengeance on the house of Israel. How did they take vengeance on us? In the what is it? The Jacobite wars. They took vengeance on us. Get me 2 Kings 8 and 22. For Israel, was it? Edom had revolted from under the hand of Judah, even unto this day. You understand? And the Most High said that was going to happen. In Revelation 20 and 2, it says that the dragon shall be loosed from its prison once more to deceive the world. And how did they deceive the world? By putting up that fake Jesus. You understand? The Bible's on point. That's why it gets attacked so much. Because one, to try and debunk what's in there, and it's impossible to do so. And two, to stop the Most High's people from finding out who the hell they are and getting out of this captivity. But it's not going to happen anymore. Slack it. Hold that. Give me 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. For that day shall not come lest there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the sons of perdition. Do you understand? This is it now, right? The elites already know this. But the reason why they're not trying to put any camera on us, because the Bible says you cannot do not anything against the truth, only for it. It says that in Acts chapter 5 verse 39. Go grabbing it afterwards as well, yeah? Yeah, it's 5:39, go on.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Right. So these things happening right now. The Bible says it shall not happen until they were falling away first. The falling away is when we went into captivity. You understand? That was our falling away, because we lost our heritage, as it says in Jeremiah 17 and 4. Can you read that for me real quick, please? Thou even thyself shalt discontinue from your heritage. So if that's the case, that the Most High's people shall discontinue from their heritage and they're in captivity unto this day, who the hell are those people over there in the land trying to call themselves the chosen people? They're imposters. You understand? Right. That's why they say they wear clothes that are black unto the ground, because the Bible says in Jeremiah 1 and 14 that the nation of Israel, their skin is black unto the ground. You understand? Go on, read it.
Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 4. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Right, and how have our people discontinued from their heritage? They're shaping up their beard, which makes them look effeminate. Alright? The man is covering his head and the woman is showing her head. When the Bible says that a woman's supposed to cover her head. Now a lot of women get angry when they hear that, but the reason why that's the case is because the heathen nations try and copy our laws. When you try and put on shoes that don't fit you, it fucks you up, doesn't it? Now when the Bible says that what? A woman's supposed to cover her face, before Rebecca saw Isaac, her face wasn't covered. Do you understand? But she covered her face out of respect. Now when the heathen nations do it, they make their women look like letterboxes, because the laws weren't given to them. You're trying to follow laws that weren't given to you. It's true. It's true. The heathen nation are trying to outdo the Israelites. You can't do that. Like Muhammad. He didn't even come sit at our feet. He was in the crowd. Muhammad was in the crowd and he jotted down whatever the hell he could hear and tried to follow our laws. Then he had the audacity to ask us to follow him. That's like you teaching your son and then him turning around telling you to follow him. How the hell is he going to learn anything? That's laughable. That's what we did. We laughed at him. We laughed at Muhammad. That's why he had a tantrum and tried killing all of us up. But the reason why he got so far is the same with Alexander. Alexander managed to get so far and conquer so many lands because the Israelites said to Alexander, the only reason you're able to get away with this shit is because we turned from our God, so our God is allowing you to do this rubbish. The same thing with Muhammad. An Israelite said to Muhammad, the only reason you think you're a prophet, this and that, is because our God has set you up to do these things. Because what? There wouldn't be an Arab slave trade. And then if there was no Arab slave trade, there'd be no point punishing the so-called Arabs, would there? That's why the Caucasian man's slavery and the Arab man's slavery is going to be the worst. Because they're the ones that had it first. That's why the Bible says what? Which nation had not had part in her spoils? What does it mean when it's talking about her? It's talking about the nation of Israel, the Negro, Hispanic, and they're American and West African. Which nation have not gotten part of our spoils? All the heathen nations had their hand in it. Slack it, can you just drop that again, the Lamentation 10:14? Slack it. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away your captivity. But I have seen from you false burdens and causes of banishment. What's the main one that these Caucasians try pushing out? That we were Hamites, that we were Africans. A servant of servants. That doesn't apply to the Israelites, that applies to the Hamites. We're not the same people. Where's the Bible dictionary? Let me get it. Yeah, you can look at everything. You can take photos of everything.
And also in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it shows you that the Caucasian man knew that there was a difference between the Hamitic nations and the Israelite nations. He knows that we're not African. And my brother's going to read it now. Okay?
Right. Can you give me Lamentation 10:14, and for this part here, give me Exodus chapter 11 verse 7, and Amos 9 and 7. Do you understand? And bottom, we're going to get that scripture as well, that the Bible says, there shall be many more that perish than them which be saved. Do you understand? The Most High is not dealing with everyone. He said that many times. Even his son, Yahushua, said that he's coming back only for the elect. And Romans, 11 and 7? It says, what then? Israel have not found that which they seek it for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Why is that? Because our people, that's why our people are the most spiritual, but the Most High is not dealing with all of them right now. Because, what is it? That's why I said what? Slack it. Hosea 5 and 15, I shall return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek me. He hasn't rejected his people, but that's what the heathens pushed. Oh, well, now you can be a spiritual Israelite. Can I be a spiritual Caucasian man? No, it's impossible. Do you understand? The Most High is only dealing with a nation of people. Nation is short for what? Nationality. What is nationality? A race of people. It's that simple. You understand? It's like you read it, please. This is about the separation between the Hamites and the Israelites, because these Caucasians trying to say that what? The reason why we're in this condition because what? Servant of servants, which is the full burden and cause of banishment. God, this is Zondervan Bible Dictionary, yeah? It says Ham. Yeah, Ham. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races. Yeah? So he's got this poster here, and there's a more elaborate poster down here. Because another thing as well, our people thought that what, Barack Obama was one of our people, because he had a bit of a tan. No, he's not one of our people. He's a Hamite. But because, as we said, who the work with Jesus Christ was what? He was able to hide in the land of Egypt because he was still dark skinned. That's why I said to you, that book, Babylon to Timbuktu, here it is here. If you go to page 116, it says that our people, when we fled into the land of Africa for persecution, right, to be able to hide among the heathen nation, because we had the same melanin. Go on.
We was fleeing from Roman persecution. You know about Titus, Ptolemy? Yeah, when they surrounded, Jerusalem, yeah, because it was prophesied that obviously there'll be a persecution. We fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. Yeah, and there was a major slaughter in that time. Yeah, but the only reasons why we fled in there, because obviously we grew up amongst them, looking like them. We take on the same characteristics, but we look like them, but we're not the same people. You know what I'm saying? You get a black dog, a black cat, a black cup, and a black kettle, are they all the same? No. You know what I'm saying? Because you got so-called Indian people that are darker than me. Does that mean that they're black? No. But the so-called Caucasian man said that we're all under the same brush, when we're not. Well, this is the information out here to show you to break down these lies. Okay?
Right. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races. He became the progenitor of the dark races, yes? Not the Negroes. The dark races, but not the Negroes. Okay? And it says it here. But the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. Okay, so the Egyptians, which are the Sudanese today, Ethiopians, which is Kush and Somalians, okay, Eritreans, Libyans, okay, which is what? Middle East and Assyria in that area, and the Canaanites, which is the South Africans.
Which would be Nelson Mandela.
Which would be Nelson Mandela, Mugabe, what's his name? Obama. You understand? Okay? Not the Negroes. Go on. You see what I'm saying? See, that down there is folly. That explained the Bible completely, because the Most High said that what? Get Slacky, get me, what is it? Matthew's, no, yeah, get me that one, and get me Matthew 7:13 first, please. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many therein that go thereby. Because here, you're learning something, and it's harsh, and it's painful, but it's true. Do you understand? Now over there, you can...